Welcome to episode 44 of the Girl About the Globe podcast, where I'm continuing our series of making a difference when you travel. This week, I discuss how we can make a difference through voluntourism. Stay tuned. Welcome to Girl About the Globe, a podcast for you, the solo female traveller, empowering women to travel solo with maximum adventure, minimum impact. Volunteering. The world is not dangerous because of those who do harm, but because of those who look at it without doing anything. Albert Einstein. Voluntourism is a way of combining travel with volunteering your time and helping to make a difference to a local community. Discover more about a place than just passing through, as you get to live and work with local people who really need your help. Volunteer placements generally last from 1 week to a few months, and they are a way of gaining a better understanding of the country and its people through an exchange of cultures. Voluntourism is extremely rewarding and can benefit the community if done in a sustainable manner, by giving locals the tools and knowledge to move forward in the future. Not only does it offer the chance to learn new skills, you can also make new friends and form bonds that will last a lifetime. There are many volunteering organisations that offer all types of volunteering work. Some placements aren't cheap, and you do have to pay for your airfare, so combining it with travel can help to reduce your costs. After the initial placement, you may have the chance to extend your stay at a cheaper weekly rate. You can become a youth worker at a women's empowerment group or attend a local hospital on a medical placement. It's not just restricted to people either. You can choose to work with elephants on a conservation placement or with turtles on a marine project. You don't have to be a certain age or have a specific skill to volunteer. You could just paint a school, immersing yourself within the local environment and community who are just as curious about you as you are about them. Unfortunately, there are organisations out there who take advantage of travellers' altruistic natures. You can volunteer for weeks or even months at a time, but you do have to pay for your placement. Always choose a reputable volunteering company, check reviews from other volunteers, and see if their website has a breakdown of the placement fees and where your money is spent. One tip is, before giving any gifts, if you are on a volunteering placement, is always check with the person in charge to prevent doing more harm than good. Rethinking volunteer travel. Instead of thinking that you're helping a country, ask yourself what you can learn from the country, changing the perception of volunteering to learning service. In the book, Learning Service, The Essential Guide to Volunteering Abroad, they say, learning service starts with looking inwards. In fact, we believe that self-awareness is the single most important quality someone must possess in order to successfully learn about and contribute to the world. Taking the time to build your own self-awareness might seem like a waste of time when there are real needs in the world that demand immediate action. But when you know yourself well, you will be able to make better decisions about whether or not volunteering overseas is right for you. And if you do volunteer, what type of role you will be best suited for. By understanding your own motivations and capacity and critically exploring your assumptions, you will be more open to the new cultures in which you find yourself, more likely to reflect critically on your actions and improve them, or to change course completely should you realise that you are on the wrong path. You'll be a more effective volunteer who is less likely to make harmful mistakes, and you'll be much better positioned to make a positive contribution to the world, both during and after your volunteer trip. The process of building self-awareness starts with a learning mindset. With a learning mindset, you see every task, difficulty, and encounter as a learning opportunity. You're willing to challenge your own assumptions and stereotypes, and you are committed to being open to new ideas and ways of doing things. Embracing a learning mindset is a cornerstone of learning service. Keep asking why, and why again. Asking why can help you to probe the reality of a belief, assumption, or inference, and to understand how the root causes of issues are interlinked. For example, if you see children living in an orphanage, you might ask yourself, why are they living here? You might find out that some of the children are not orphans. So the next question could be, why did their parents decide to leave them here? And then, why did the parents think their children would be better off in an orphanage? As you peel back the reasons parents might have left them there and consider the political, social, economic and cultural factors that influence them, your whys will lead you closer to the root causes of the situation. You will begin to uncover areas where you need to learn more in order to answer the question or to test your own assumptions about why something happens. Understanding the root cause of the problem can help you to see that a problem may not be so black and white. Root causes of social problems are extremely complex and multi-layered. For example, the root cause of a high child mortality rate may be a combination of inadequate education for parents, lack of access to healthcare, prevalence of preventable diseases, and food scarcity. A project that is addressing the root cause tries to create a sustainable solution for one or more of the problems. By contrast, a one-off health camp with Western doctors and donated fancy equipment may look impressive, but it will have little long-term impact if it's not addressing the root causes. You can read more from Learning Service at the Essential Guide to Volunteering Abroad. If you do decide to volunteer and challenge your assumptions of a country, here are some recommended volunteering agencies to choose from. African Impact, pushing the boundaries of volunteering in Africa. Annie Madagascar, volunteering in Madagascar. Atlantic Whale Foundation is a volunteering organisation. Blue Ventures offers marine conservation projects. Concordia Volunteers is a great value volunteering organisation. Global Tier is a UK non-profit charity with volunteer projects. Habit for Humanity eliminates housing poverty and homelessness. One World 365 offers meaningful travel. Original Volunteers is the UK's leading independent volunteering specialist. Sangaseva is volunteering in Israel and India. Volunteering in Nepal offers volunteer placements in Nepal. Over the last 20 plus years, I have volunteered in different countries. I've volunteered in Palestine, picking olives with the Palestinian people, and learning how their life really is under Israeli occupation. I've worked in Mongolia as a journalist at a TV station, where I wrote interview questions and even got to have lunch with the Turkish ambassador in Mongolia. At the time, I lived with my Mongolian host family, learned how to make traditional Mongolian dishes, and learned that the way that they do business in Mongolia is very relaxed compared to the Western world. I've been a volunteer in a Buddhist nunnery in Nepal, where I taught English to nuns and one monk. I feel very privileged to have been able to live with the nuns in a small town called Parping, who accepted me with warmth and open arms, inviting me to their ceremonies, and gave me an insight into their lives and taught me more about Buddhism at the same time. I've also volunteered in Kenya, working in an orphanage. At the end of my placement, I walked away wondering if I'd actually made a difference. Even though it was an ethical orphanage, being in the children's lives for just 2 weeks can cause attachment issues. That's why it's really important to question where you are volunteering and why. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. This is the final episode in Series 2 of Making a Difference, and the Girl About the Globe podcast will return with Series 3 on the 12th of October. In the meantime, stay safe and well. Thanks for listening to our Girl About the Globe podcast, making solo travel easier for you. Find everything that you need for your solo travels at girlabouttheglobe.com, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode.